The year was 2013 and Nintendo revealed a game called Hyrule Warriors, which had the gameplay of Dynasty Warriors but allowed you to explore the world of Hyrule in a new way. The game released in 2014 and it was a minor hit on the Wii U. Everyone loved exploring Hyrule in this new way. The only problem is the game's not really that accessible to those with disabilities. I'm here to explain why, as someone who has a severe visual impairment along with other disabilities. I have played the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors along with the demo for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for comparison. So let's get started. First up are the cutscenes. I'm going to start by playing the opening cutscene for the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors, then playing the opening cutscene for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for the Nintendo Switch.
Listen well, soldiers of Hyrule. In our long history, we have scarcely faced a threat of this magnitude. The years have passed quickly since Calamity Ganon's revival was prophesied. Yes, we have unearthed the divine beasts and filled volumes with our knowledge of ancient relics. But a barricade of books will not protect us.
As you can see from the two opening cutscenes, the original Hyrule Warriors has very difficult to read text on a very difficult to read background, along with no voice acting, and it just has grunts and moans. Meanwhile, Age of Calamity is an improvement, with voiced lines, better to read text, and the graphics overall probably just make things a little easier. However, there's still a long ways to go in the area for accessibility. Next up is the original Hyrule Warriors main menu. Now, the main part of the menu doesn't look too bad. In fact, I would even say the text is quite acceptable. It's large, it's darker than the background, and it looks good overall. However, once you go into somewhere like the settings menu, the text dramatically gets smaller and it blends in even more with the text box of each option, which is not really ideal if you're going to change the sound or music, for example. And it makes finding things really difficult, especially considering the Wii U and 3DS versions of the game don't have the zoom feature. Meanwhile, with Age of Calamity, the only real issues with text come with the leveling up screen and on the map, but for those who played Breath of the Wild, it should be easy enough to get used to, regardless. Plus, you do have the zoom feature on the Switch. Lastly are the issues that stem from the game itself. Now, some people may be thinking when it comes to the original Hyrule Warriors that, oh, the game came out 6 years ago, there was no possible way of adding accessibility options back then. The game was announced in 2013 and released 2014. Well, not only did the game get frequent updates adding new characters, new adventure maps, and new weapons and costumes, but the game also got re-released on the 3DS, plus on the Switch, which is a current generation console. So Nintendo really had no excuse adding accessibility options like making the menus look bigger and nicer and making text easier and turning off auto scroll. While with Age of Calamity, I feel like because the game had more people from the Breath of the Wild team on it, there was a little more care put into it, plus it's obviously newer. So in conclusion, I feel like the Hyrule Warriors series is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Nintendo and accessibility. It's 2020 and they really need to be improving their accessibility options a little more for their video games, especially since how Nintendo advertise themselves as for everyone, and then we have the likes of Sony and Microsoft having more accessibility options than Nintendo. They are trying by adding the zoom functions and the button mapping to the Nintendo Switch, but they really need to do more in order for more gamers to be able to play their games happily and without having to worry. For that reason, I want to start the hashtag fun for everyone, because that's exactly what games should be. They should be fun for everyone, and it won't be fun if people can't read any text, or they can't push a particular button because of mobility issues, or they can't play a game because of forced motion controls. So I want everyone to get the hashtag fun for everyone, tag Nintendo, and either tell their horror stories about accessibility in their video games, or just scream to the rooftops that you want accessibility in your games for people who have disabilities. Now, I don't normally make videos like this, but if you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe to me, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, other social medias. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.